Hey everyone, today I'll be taking a look at the Bitcoin chart in context with the halvings and what usually happens before and after it. So this is just my monthly chart and these orange lines are the halving dates. Now obviously we don't know the exact date for the Bitcoin halving, but we can estimate it'll be about 30 days from now. So if we go back in time, let's take a look at the very first halving, and that was about the 26th of November. We can see we had a bit of a run up before it and a bit of a crash, about 50%, kind of stayed flat for a bit, 150 days, and then went on a run. And after the halving, that run was about 375 days. So let's just make a little note here. 375 days after halving was the peak. Nice. Now, how about the next one? Well, next one was on the 11th of July 2016. And we can kind of see the same thing. So it did have a bit of a run, but this will be more comparable to the last one. So we had the proper big run, that was about 30 days. Now we did kind of have two crashes. So about 30% crash before the halving, kind of stayed flat through it, and another 30%-ish crash after the halving. Then went on a big run, and taking the date from the halving, we went for 527 days. So let's just make a note. 527 days, peak after halving. Alright, how about the next one? Well, this one was certainly a bit out of the ordinary, since we did have the COVID crash where everyone thought, oh, we're all gonna die. So I'm just gonna kind of pretend the price basically did this up until about here. So basically ignoring all this section because this was certainly a unique time. So let's just take a look at this. I'll just kind of count it from here. So we had a nice run up just before the halving, and just before and kind of during the halving we had a 20% dump and it kind of stayed sideways for a fair little while, 76 days, and then finally went on a proper run. And you could say the peak was there, but the real peak was over there at 69k. So let's say the peak is over here. That'll be 548 days. So let's make a little note. 548 days was the peak after halving. Nice. So if we take a look at history, let's go to the big view. So 375 days after the halving was the peak. Then the next one we got 527 days. Then the next one was 548 days. So one might assume that the cycles are lengthening. Although now with the BlackRock ETF, things could certainly be a lot different. So we'll have to see. But let's just draw a box of where it could be between. So at an absolute minimum, let's say 375 days. And where would 375 days put us? Let's go to the date picker. 375 days. So let's say right here. And the absolute maximum could be 548 days. But I'll just round that to 550 days. That'll be right around here. Let's expand this box out here. Alright, nice. But if we take another look a bit closer, I've just got these colored boxes to kind of represent the cycle time. So we got year 1, 2, 3, and 4. Green being the big run up, red being the big dump, yellow, kind of who knows, blue, kind of up, green, hella up, red, down, and so on. So if we look back here, we can see the peak was pretty much in Q4 of 2013. Alright, so basically last quarter of the big green box. How about the next one? Basically peak also in December, so last quarter of the big green box. Now how about the next one? Well, this was a bit earlier, November, but still the last quarter of the big green box. So now that we got that in mind, let's just extend this box to be a bit more realistic. So we got the 2024 year, that's what we're in now, and the 2025 year. So if the cycle stays the same, where we got green, red, yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, blue, and green, meant to be the big run-up year, it should technically end near the end of the year, right? Let's just adjust this green box to be the end of the year. So just looking at this, we could say there's a probably low chance, but still a chance we could see a peak in April 2025, pretty much a year away from now, with the latest being basically at the end of 2025, possibly start of 2026. But this still isn't taking into account one big glaring detail. We seem to be quite ahead of schedule, because if we look back way in the past, we can see this blue box didn't reach the all-time high till it got to the green box. This blue box still didn't get to the all-time high until it hit the green box. This blue box just barely got to the all-time high right at the end of that box. And here we are, basically at the all-time high before the halving. So unless BlackRock keeps gobbling up more Bitcoin, we could honestly see just a bit of flat for the next 6, 12, who knows how many months, and then business as usual in the green box. But I'm going to be sticking to my same plan of planning to cash out in Q3 to Q4 of 2025. And fingers crossed, it'll be above 100k US by the time we get to here. So whatever the price is around here, I'll slowly be selling in chunks and hopefully living the good life.